hope you're well. Happy new 2022. It feels so weird to say that because it just feels like the other day we were in 2021. How have you been? Haven't been on here for a minute. Starting the year with excuses is one thing I won't do. So, but I just needed a break, and I thought a break is important, and so I went ahead and took one. So, how is your year been? Are you feeling different? Like, is it the same? Or, I've spoken to a couple of my friends, maybe just to start off, and it's interesting how a lot of people nowadays have different sentiments about having New Year resolutions. Apparently, they feel like it's pointless, like it doesn't work. Comment down below and tell me how you feel about New Year resolution. Do you actually have them? Do you follow up? Do you follow through with them? Yeah, that would be an interesting thing to find out. Anyway, this is Inspire YG. YG is an acronym for Young Generation, and I started this page a couple of years ago. Well, it's not a page, just a page. It's also an initiative that was started with the hope of sort of sharing my journey and inspiring or sharing my experiences as an international student in Australia, New South Wales. Anyhow, I thought I'd jump on here. This is the first video of 2022, so it's kind of it's nerve-wracking. Sometimes people say, like, when you do sit down videos or vlogs or whatever people call these, it feels like it's not nerve-wracking because it's just me and my bed literally, and my camera. And but it can be nerve-wracking, especially when you know that it's going out to the world. It's your heart going to the world. Yeah, and especially for introverts, it's even more awkward. Anywho, I thought I'd jump here, and you know what I'm gonna share today? I'm gonna share 5 points. I wrote this yesterday, and I was sort of doing like a bit of a like soul searching. Like, I was looking deep down to see what are some of the fears and experiences I had in 2021 that I didn't want to bring to this. I do want to bring in 2022, and so I came up with 5. These are from my heart, and I just, let me know if they're going to resonate. Let me know if you feel the same, right? So I wrote them down. I love to write, and I'm always using my book. So the first point, so these are 5 fears that I experienced and hopefully left. I'm gonna say hopefully because I think as we go through this video, I might just figure out I still have some of them. 5 fears that I experienced and somewhat left in 2021. The first one, fear of uncertainty. And I know a lot of people felt this, and I think especially people I know in Australia, like for those who are watching this and are probably not in Australia continent, Australia has been on lockdown or when I say lockdown, is the borders have been shut for the last 2 years, literally, around about 18 months. Since COVID started in 2020 March, the borders were shut, and they were not open until last month. And for international, I think for Australians, I can't speak for people because I feel like there were mixed feelings and reactions with how people felt about the lockdown. Obviously, there are some people who felt it's for the betterment of Australians and people within Australia, that people did not come from other countries and maybe brought in different variants like we're having now. But then from the perspective of, let's say, me being a resident in Australia, but also being, calling another country home as well, that was a bit challenging because you want to go home, you want to see your family, you want to see your friends. So you're sort of torn in between the two, and it's almost like every single day you're I was feeling this kind of, it wasn't every day, once in a while you get anxious, you feel anxiety, you feel like you miss your family, you hope nobody's gonna get sick, you hope that nothing, nothing major happens and you can't leave the country. I remember there was a day I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna look up flights to Kenya, and they were going for 5,000. I don't even remember whether it was return ticket or it was one way. 5,000. That is double what we pay. And I thought, wow, if I pay 5,000 to go to Kenya, and I'm not even sure if I'm coming back, it's really didn't make any sense. So my 2021 was plagued with that sort of, just the fear of the unknown, not knowing what to expect. Every single day you get up and you don't know how the day is going to be. You don't know what to expect, right? The second one, I'm gonna go through them. The second fear was the fear of loving and the fear of being loved. Now I know my mentor used to say that he doesn't understand the people who have a fear of success, and I'm very sure there are people out there who probably don't understand it. I also feel like there are people who will not understand what I mean by the fear of loving and fear of being loved. I cannot explain. It's hard to explain it, but it's just like and I feel like it's more the fear of being loved than it is the fear of loving, because I don't feel like I've come to a point in my life where I just want to love, whether that love is going to be given back or not. At the same time, I have struggled a lot, especially in my 20s, with boundaries, and not stepping on people's boundaries, but actually putting boundaries so that my space is not, like people don't step on my personal space. But I wasn't good at saying no, wasn't good at saying, give me a minute, let me think about this. It was just like, I felt like, and it's a people pleasing kind of thing. And I felt like it was decapitating. It's one of those things that you feel, I need to breathe. And so I've been overthinking, and I feel like I've had close friends. I'm really grateful and blessed to have some friends who are good friends, who tell me and who talk to me, open their heart and just tell it like it is, and I appreciate that. And I'm not even just talking about any kind of, it's every kind of love. It's romantic. I mean, it's platonic love. It's romantic love. It's any kind of love that I've been feeling like, in the last decade, like I blocked myself from being loved. I would appreciate that someone is loving me, but I would feel like, almost like feeling like I don't deserve it, or feeling like I have to work to deserve it. Maybe it doesn't make sense. If it makes sense, let me know down below. But I struggled with that, and I feel like I've left that in 2021, because there's some sort of freedom that I'm feeling at the moment. And I think it also comes with maturity and experiences in life. And, if you've gone through hurt, you cannot be 30 and you haven't gone through hurt with love, whatever it's coming from. Things happen in life and you're gonna be hurt. That's part of it. But sometimes out of that pain comes a different version of yourself, or it comes you learn something about yourself. You learn about your resilience. You learn about what are things that matter to you and don't matter to you. So yeah, that I learned a lot, that it's actually probably even stemming from my overthinking, which a friend of mine read to me yesterday, that it's actually a Virgo thing. So for the people who follow the stars in astronomy, what are they called? Astrology? Something like that. I don't know. The study, whatever. Is it a study of the stars? Yeah. So I'm a Virgo, and actually it falls on the 23rd of August. And in as much as I trust and I believe in God, and I feel like, this is science people who are scientists, they get wisdom and they get knowledge, and so some of these things actually do make a lot of sense. So there you go, check it out. if you're also like me. The third point was fear of not looking beautiful with my gray silver hairs somewhere in my head somewhere. For the last decade, I've been observing conversations around the world with especially women, sort of being outspoken about how they find men with silver hair or gray hair. I'll put a picture of some people I know, or I'll find some pictures on the internet of some popular men who've been classified as looking good, looking handsome, when their beard are all gray or they got some silver hairs or whatever. Even when Barack Obama left office and he just stopped dyeing his hair and everybody was talking about how good looking he is, but you never hear that of women. Majority of the time, if women start having like gray hair or silver something something, there's always this perception that you're getting old. Anyway, I struggled in my 20s with when I started noticing my hair, apparently, especially my baby hairs. I've always had like baby hairs, but I started noticing like, maybe you can't see now, but I started noticing silver, some gray hair coming up. Now, I obviously did my research because Dr. Google is there. And I thought maybe I'm stressing so much as an international student. Sometimes you go through a lot and you start thinking, is it because I'm stressing? But actually, it's actually biological. Both my parents, developed their gray hair when they were very young. It's in the family. But I didn't know that. I didn't know premature graying can be caused by biological factors. And so sometimes you meet people people who are very close to you, they are the ones who have, probably I find that people close to you can be the people who have the highest capacity to cause hurt, intentionally, unintentionally most of the time, because obviously, yeah, unintentionally, but they will, people will point out, oh, you have gray hair, have you noticed you have gray hair? I'm like, it's my head. I've been living with this head for my entire life. Trust me, I know there's some gray hair somewhere, so don't point it out. I don't want to hear it. This was in my 20s. But now I've come to, I feel like appreciate myself and just be okay with how they're growing. One here, two here, three here. And be confident in myself, because there's more to me than just having silver hair in my 20s. But also having people who in my life who are very who don't just look at the beauty of the outward beauty. They look at, what do you bring? You can have some type of appearance that people would consider beautiful, but then maybe your soul or your heart or how you treat others is actually not so nice. That sort of takes everything away. So it's just to tell a young girl out there, if you're in your 20s, early 20s, and you're noticing some silver wisdom highlights, embrace them. And if someone points them out, tell them you're proud of them, and you've always had, that's your head. just embrace yourself wholly. That's what I'm getting more confident in actually just leaving them, and I don't plan. Probably I would adventure with dyeing my hair in the next decade or so, next 2 decades. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Don't be surprised if my hair naturally looks like this. Anyway, fourth point, fear of not being in control. Whew, this has been the toughest, guys. This has been, I don't know who else struggles with this like me. Now, I am an INFJ advocate. So I don't know if you've not done the personality test. I'm going to put a link below on the description box of this video. It's a free test you can do online. I love to make my friends do it because I want to know their personality and how we are aligned. But I'm an INFJ advocate, and these are people like Mother Teresa. Who else is an INFJ? Martin Luther King was an INFJ. I think Barack Obama is an INFJ as well. Mahatma Gandhi was an INFJ. So It's pretty much people who believe they are born leaders, people who believe they are here to save the world. Let's go save the world. And sometimes when you are like that, and so I'll speak from the perspective of a Christian, which I am. I have struggled a lot. My struggle, everybody who, especially who has a Christian faith or who comes from a Christian faith, has a struggle that they, it's like, and people phrase it differently. People say, I have my demons, or I have things that I struggle with. My struggle has always been trying to do the Lord's work. I'm like, God, you're taking too long. Can I help you? Let me do your job. You're taking too long. Maybe you're having too much to do. Let me do it. And so I don't sometimes wait. When I want things, I just go and do them. Like, I was like that even at uni. If I had group assignments, I did not like group assignment at all, because sometimes you have people who, or you get people in your group who can be bothered. They don't even want to be there in the first place, leave alone tell them to do a group assignment. So if you're relying on their end of the bargain for you to pass that assignment, trust me, you're going to fail. And as an international student, you cannot afford to fail. You don't have time and you don't have the money. So and so I would just go and just I could end up pretty much even doing the whole assignment alone, just so that I can feel that I have done everything in my capacity to get the grade that I wanted. So it's the same thing in my life. And I've seen that I've struggled a lot in things that I didn't have to struggle if I just chilled and just control what I can control. My mentor always used to tell me, Connie, just control the controllables and leave the things you cannot control. Whew. Easier said than done. It's a struggle. I'm learning it. I'm a work in progress, but we are getting there. Okay. I want to be able to trust in God and just give him control, because I feel like, based on my faith, there's some things I have tried to control and I can't, and I just need to let go and let God. Yeah. All right. The fifth and the last one: fear of starting from scratch when God is planning to open new doors of opportunities. I've always had that phobia of when when I've gone through a journey, or whether it's like a new job or a success in an achievement in something, I feel like I don't want to, like, I get anxiety around starting something else, because I feel like I might not get the same success I had in a previous project or a previous job or a previous whatever. So I tend to feel like that, but I feel like this is a new me. I'm really feeling like this is a brand new me this year, where I want to be able to open myself up to new opportunities, whichever they are, no matter how much I feel it's hard to get onto that path and start from scratch, to just trust in God and just trust in my capacity and in the gifts that I've got, and pursue that which I'm afraid of starting from scratch. Let me know if you've had any of these fears resonates with you. I know I started off by talking about resolution and how other people feel about resolution, but I feel like the areas of improvement I want to have in during this year is definitely discipline, consistency, and just trying to form those habits towards achieving my dreams and goals, or the things that I want to achieve this year. And it's sort of just a continuation of what I was doing last year. Really, not really starting anything new, but just a continuation. I also want like clarity of purpose, and just just continue just pursuing what I'm doing, especially with both my foundation, Inspire YG, and iKiki, which is Inspire Kizazi Kipya. I'll talk more about these two initiatives, or at least the iKiki, because that's what I haven't spoken about in the past, and also give you the opportunity to join in. So thank you so much for watching this video, and happy new year once more. Let's make this year be our year, and I wish you all the best in all your desires and all your dreams. Trust that you can achieve everything you want. Please don't forget to subscribe, and until the next one, bye.